Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be doing something that's been highly requested of me. I'm going to be doing a recap and sort of lineup review for Week 12, looking over the Week 12 slate, sort of recapping it, going through my cash game lineup. I do mostly play cash games, not much of a tournament player, so we'll be looking at my cash game lineups every Monday, recapping. And we'll also take a look at the Millionaire Maker, take a look at some of the top lineups there, look at some of the guys that they play, see if we were considering those players, so that maybe we can further our process and get better next week. But yeah, looking at my cash game lineup for Week 12, it was definitely a good week for me. My cash game lineup put up nearly 170 points, 169.94. I played it in this three-man contest. Definitely had a run for my money. Duford 95 gave me a run for my money. Had a nice score as well. He put up 168.32, but I managed to squeeze by him with a 169.94. And win this three-man contest that I played in. Also was good to cash in double-ups, 50-50s. Those are mostly the contests that I play, or cash games. Like I said, I'm not much of a tournament player. I just haven't had a lot of success in tournaments. I use a bankroll tracker from rototracker.com, and on their website you can import your DK contest history, and like my ROI for tournaments, it's pretty disgusting. So I stick mostly to cash games, three-mans, head-to-heads, 50-50s, double-ups. That's where I've had the most success. So we're going to look at the lineup that I played. Starting off at quarterback, I talked about him in the Thursday Week 12 picks video. I said if I go cheap at quarterback, which is what I like to do in cash, I'm rolling with Jacoby Brissett. Stuck to my word. He only put up 8 DraftKings points, was definitely disappointing. Only had 196 yards passing, 16 rush yards, did fumble the ball. So it was a disappointing game from Brissett. I was hoping for at least 15, 16 DK points from him. But some of the other players really stepped up to make up for his struggles. So the next guy under Brissett, Tevin Coleman, 21.7 DraftKings points. He had 2 rushing touchdowns, 97 yards, came 3 yards shy of the 100-yard bonus. I talked about Tevin Coleman when I went over running back. I said if I go to the mid-tier at running back that Tevin Coleman is going to be the guy I target. And I did pay out for a couple guys, so I needed sort of a mid-tier cheap play, and Tevin Coleman was one of those guys. There's pretty much 5 guys that I was like locking into my lineups. Was Brissett, Coleman, Todd Gurley, Corey Davis, and Cooper Kupp. Like, I had those guys locked in, and it was filling out the 4 spots, which is what sort of took some time, which is what I really thought over. But Brissett, Coleman, Gurley, Davis, and Cooper Kupp, I locked those guys in and then just filled out the last 4 spots. So yeah, my other running back was Todd Gurley. I talked about him in the Thursday video. I said if I pay up for running back, he's the guy I'm going to target. Didn't have that great of a game. 74 rushing yards, 54 receiving yards, 4 catches, 16.8 DraftKings points. But that's one of the reasons we play these guys like Todd Gurley, Le'Veon Bell. Todd Gurley didn't even have that good of a game and still managed to put up nearly 17 DraftKings points. So he has such a high floor. That's always a lot. I like to go cheap at quarterback so I can fit in Todd Gurley, Le'Veon Bell, these guys that have high floors and high ceilings. Because rarely does quarterback like win you the slate. As we saw this week, Julio Jones, 53 DraftKings points. There's no quarterback that can put up 53 DraftKings points. Rarely does it ever happen. Whereas guys like Julio Jones, Lev Bell, Antonio Brown, these guys literally have 50 DraftKings point upside every time they step on the field. So I like to go cheap at quarterback, fit in the studs, and Gurley was one of the studs I wanted to fit in this week. Didn't have that good of a game, but 16.8 DraftKings points definitely will not kill you. The next guy, the wide receiver, Corey Davis. I talked about him in Thursday's video. I said if Rashard Matthews is out that I really like Corey Davis as a value play. Definitely did not work out. He only had 4 catches for 39 yards, only put up 7.9 DraftKings points. I was the only one that played him in this 3-man, which was pretty surprising. I figured Corey Davis would have been pretty chalky this week. I think he was in like double-ups and 50-50s. I was the only one that played him in this 3-man. Definitely did not perform to the way I wanted him to, but I had some other guys step up, like Julio Jones, the next guy. This was a big debate for me this week. Definitely, did I want to go to Julio Jones or Kareem Hunt? I knew I wanted to pay up for Todd Gurley, but it was trying to fit in another stud. Did I want to do Julio or Kareem Hunt? And that was something I debated pretty much all the way up till lock, all the way till Sunday morning. I wound up on Julio, definitely a big swing. I know like Kareem Hunt busted. He only put up like 4 or 5 DraftKings points. So if I would have played Kareem Hunt over Julio, my lineup would have been pretty crappy. I only would have put up like 120 points, if that. So definitely caught a break with Julio, playing him over Kareem Hunt. He had a monster game. 2 touchdowns, 253 receiving yards, 12 catches, got the 100-yard bonus, 15 rushing yards as well. Just total crush game for Julio, 53.8 DraftKings points. Ran pretty good to play him over Kareem Hunt because that was something I debated all the way up till lock. And that was one of the reasons I almost didn't play Julio. But looking into the next guy, Cooper Kupp, he was a lock for me in my cash games, especially with Robert Woods out. I talked about him in the Thursday video. With Woods out, Cooper Kupp's going to see plenty of targets, and he definitely performed to my standards. 116 receiving yards, 8 receptions, got the 100-yard bonus. 22.6 DraftKings points from Cooper Kupp. Definitely performed well, was a good play in my opinion. We knew he was going to get the targets with Woods out, so especially at 5K, which is what I think his price tag was, I was pretty much locking him in. Him and Corey Davis were pretty much locked for me at wide receiver, especially for value plays. Those were value plays that I felt like I just had to have this week. Same with Brissett, too. I felt like locking in Brissett, Corey Davis, Cooper Kupp was the way to go in cash games, and then pay up for a couple studs, go to the cheaper end at tight end. And that's how I landed on Jack Doyle. Tight end was pretty straightforward for me this week. It was go to the cheaper end. There was 3 guys I was considering for cash. It was Delaney Walker, Jack Doyle, or Tyler Kroft. Those were the 3 guys I was considering. And since I played Brissett, I figured I'd pair him with Jack Doyle. Doyle did pretty well, 7 catches for 94 yards, 16.4 DraftKings points. Fell 6 yards shy of the 100-yard bonus, which was pretty disappointing. But still a nice game from Jack Doyle, and I believe his price tag was only like $4,500, so definitely exceeded value, was a good play in my opinion. I thought tight end was pretty easy this week for cash games. You really were considering 3 guys, and Doyle was the one I landed on. I believe Delaney Walker did have a better game than Doyle, but Doyle was like $500 cheaper. I needed the savings, so I rolled with him. It worked out. And then the next guy in the flex spot, I talked about him when I went over running backs in Thursday's video. I said if I needed a cheap play at running back, I was going to consider Devontae Booker this week. Definitely got screwed out of some points from Booker. I believe he caught like a 20-yard touchdown, and then I think they ruled him down at the 1, and then he got stuffed when they ran the ball at the 1-yard line with Booker, and he got stuffed, and then Paxton Lynch threw an interception. So I got screwed out of a touchdown from Devontae Booker. Did not perform to the way I wanted him to. He only put up 5.3 DraftKings points, 11 rushing yards, 22 receiving yards, 2 catches. In this flex spot, there was 3 guys I was really considering here. I think I had like 3,800 left over after I plugged in all the other spots. And the guys I was debating over at flex, it was Devontae Booker, J.D. McKissick, or D.D. Westbrook. I had a hard time debating through those 3 guys. I wound up on Booker. I believe out of those 3 guys, J.D. McKissick might have been the highest scorer. But I think McKissick only put up like 8 DraftKings points, so it really wasn't much of a difference. But I thought in this homecoming game, they said that Booker was going to get a lot more touches. I thought he would have performed a little bit better. He did get screwed out of a touchdown, which definitely hurt. Didn't perform the way I thought he would. But he was only 3,700, so didn't really kill me. It was really cheap. And guys like Cooper Kupp, Julio Jones really made up for some of the guys that didn't do well. I still thought my process was good going with Booker at his price tag of 3,700. He was still a really cheap option that I liked. I thought he would have easily got like 10 DraftKings points and exceeded value, especially with it being like a homecoming game for him. He had that narrative going. The Broncos said they were going to get him more touches. It didn't work out, but that's why we do these videos, to recap, to talk about where we were right, where we were wrong. And Booker was a play that I definitely whiffed on. But yeah, looking at my final spot, the defense, sort of got lucky here. There was really 3 defenses I was considering in this price range. I believe it was like the Eagles, the Patriots. I can't remember who the other option was, but I wound up going to the Patriots. They did get a bunch of garbage time, sort of defensive points. I know there was like 5 or 6 minutes left in the game, and Matt Moore was just kind of chucking the ball around, and he was throwing a ton of picks. He was taking a ton of sacks. So I got really lucky to get 17 points from the Patriots defense, but I'm definitely not going to complain. I thought they were a good option playing at home. The Patriots defense has looked well lately, and going up against the Dolphins offense, going up against Matt Moore, just not that good of a quarterback. We'll turn the ball over, we'll take sacks, and we saw that. The Patriots got 7 sacks, 2 interceptions, got a fumble recovery. Just a good game from my defense. So that was my cash game lineup for this week, guys. Brissett, Coleman, Todd Gurley, Corey Davis, Julio Jones, Cooper Kupp, Jack Doyle, Devontae Booker, and Patriots defense finished with 169.94 points. Was a good week for me. If you guys want to leave some of your lineups down in the comment section, or some of the guys that you hit on, some of the guys you whiffed on, make sure you do that. We can discuss things in the comment section with you guys. But yeah, looking at the Millionaire Maker, looking at some of the top scoring lineups on the week. I don't know if you guys follow the Millionaire Maker, but I usually like to pull it up as the 4 o'clock games are closing, as the afternoon games are coming to an end. I like to pull up the Millionaire Maker, see who's in a run for the million. And Manny Laura, M, Jordan T-Mac finished in second, but as we were getting to a close of the 4 o'clock games, he was actually in first place. He was beaten ending by, I believe it was like 1.8, however many the difference is. That Jacksonville-Arizona game was the last game that was going on. and Arizona had just kicked a field goal that gave them the lead. I believe they were tied at 24, then Arizona kicked a field goal to make it 27-24, and there was like 1 second left, I believe. And Manny, M. Jordan, T-Mac, he was winning by like 1.8. Like I said, this ending guy had the Cardinals defense, and the Cardinals defense kicked the ball off with 1 second left, and the Jaguars started doing like the hook and ladder, started laddering the ball around, and rather than getting the tackle and ending the game, I believe the Jaguars like laddered the ball so much that they wound up fumbling. The Cardinals recovered the fumble on the last play of the game and he got 2 points. Got 2 points for the Cardinals defense, and he wound up passing M. Jordan T-Mac, which was definitely a crazy finish. I feel really bad for Manny. He lost to $850K on that final play. Rather than winning $1 million, he's only going to win $150K. And people that say like, oh, he's still winning $150K, that's so stupid. Like, the dude literally lost almost $1 million off a lateral play on the last play of the game. Just feel so bad for the dude. Definitely should have won the Millionaire Maker, but looking at the ending guy that wound up winning it, we're looking through some of his guys. He did have some of the guys that I played in cash. Julio Jones, Cooper Kupp, both were pretty high owned. Julio 24.7%, Cooper Kupp 23.8%. Obviously, when you take down the Millionaire Maker, you're going to have guys that are pretty low owned. So like Carson Wentz, 3.5%. Jermaine Kearse, only 1% owned. He got Zach Ertz at 3% ownership. That was a really sharp play. Anytime Zach Ertz is going to be like sub 5% owned, definitely a guy you want to consider in tournaments. And then he just sort of punted at defense with the Cardinals at 3%, got 10 points out of them. But it was a pretty solid overall lineup from ending. He paired Carson Wentz with Zach Ertz. Did Carlos Hyde, who had a decent game, I guess, 13.8 DraftKings points, was pretty high owned, only 17% owned. That's pretty high for Carlos Hyde, especially in the Millionaire Maker where ownership's really spread out. But the next guy was Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon was actually a guy I was sort of considering at running back going into Sunday. I didn't wind up pulling the trigger because I needed the savings and I liked Devontae Booker so much. I believe they were like $700 difference. Joe Mixon was a guy I was going to consider, but I rounded up on Booker. But Mixon had a really nice game, sort of broke out, 28.5 DraftKings points, 100-yard bonus, 114 rushing yards, rushing touchdown, also got 51 receiving yards and 3 catches. Just really good game from Joe Mixon. Julio Jones, we talked about, he just crushed 53.8 DraftKings points. You sort of needed Julio this week if you wanted to cash pretty much in anything, especially cash games. I believe Julio was owned in like 50%, at least 50%, I think, in double ups and 50-50s. So Julio was a big play for a lot of people who really needed him this week to cash. The next guy, Jermaine Kearse, no way I was considering Jermaine Kearse. I guess that was a good play by this guy. Put up 26.5 DraftKings points against the Panthers, had a receiving touchdown, 105 yards, 7 receptions, got the 100-yard bonus. Just a low-owned play like that can sometimes win you $1 million like it did this week. Good game from Jermaine Kearse. Cooper Kupp, we talked about back at the cash game build. Rob Gronkowski, 17% owned. That's pretty low owned for Gronk. Anytime you get Gronk this low owned, always want to consider him in tournaments. And Gronk just did his thing with 25 DraftKings points, 82 receiving yards, 5 catches, 2 touchdowns, just a Gronk-type game. Zach Ertz at the flex, 3% owned. Zach Ertz, a great play at this ownership. Zach Ertz was definitely not a guy I was considering in cash games because I liked a lot of the cheaper tight ends. But for tournaments, him, Travis Kelce, Gronk, these are like the best tight ends in the NFL. Nobody really plays these guys a lot, especially now that they've gotten really expensive. So getting Zach Ertz at under 5% was a really sharp play. 3%, had a really nice game, 29.3 DraftKings points. He paired him with Carson Wentz. Ertz had 103 receiving yards, 10 catches, 100-yard bonus, 1 receiving touchdown. Just really good game from Zach Ertz. The Cardinals defense, I could sort of understand this play. Cardinals defense playing at home, going up against Blake Bortles. They didn't even have that good of a game, only 10 DraftKings points, but I could see why they wanted to play this defense. But yeah, guys, that's a lineup that won the million in Week 12. Congrats to ending. Feel bad for Manny, who lost it on that last play. But anyways, guys, I think that's it for this Week 12 lineup review and recap. If you guys have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them down in the comment section, or feel free to hit me up on Twitter. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you want me to keep doing lineup reviews, just make sure you drop a like on the video, leave a comment, just let me know that you enjoyed the video. Like I said at the beginning, I have been getting a lot of requests to do recaps and lineup reviews, so I will do them for the rest of the season if you guys want to see them. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you drop a like on the video. Be sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. If this is your first time checking out my channel, I do really appreciate it. I'm gonna start doing lineup reviews on Monday. I upload my first looks at the slate on Monday as well. That video will probably be up a little bit after this video goes up. And on Thursday, I also give out my full picks video And in Thursday's video, I talked about every single player that's in my lineup, so make sure you're checking out my picks videos that usually will wind up going up on Thursday. Also check out the first looks of the slate. Those will go up on Monday, usually after this video goes up. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check out the Week 13 first looks of the slate. That video will be up a couple hours after this goes up. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, she shaking fast. Yeah, she dropping slow. Huh? What? Yeah, neck on fro. What? Whoa, 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 whoa.